Hip-hop has always had its fair share of gun violence and murders. Many artists turn to rap to try to make it out the streets, but most of them have a tough time trying to escape the street life entirely. Here's a look at a few rappers that weren't able to completely escape the streets and were unfortunately killed in 2020. Pop Smoke. Bashar Baraka Jackson, better known as Pop Smoke, was a rapper from Brooklyn, New York, where he started off in the Brooklyn drill scene. But before fans got to see his full potential, he was tragically gunned down inside of his Airbnb rental home in the Hollywood Hills of California. Pop Smoke was a known affiliate of the 8 Deuce Trey Crips and the G-Stone 90s Crips, which fall under the Wu. Pop Smoke was born to a Jamaican mother and a Panamanian father in the Canarsie section of Brooklyn, New York. In his 8th grade year of school, he was expelled for bringing a gun to school and put on house arrest for 2 years following the incident. He started playing basketball as a point and shooting guard and would relocate to Philadelphia to enroll in Rock Top Academy. But later on, he was forced to leave Rock Top Academy due to a heart murmur that he was diagnosed with and would turn to the street life. Bashar got the name Pop Smoke from a combination of 2 nicknames. His grandmother used to call him Papa, and his childhood friends called him Smoko Guwap, so he mixed the 2 names into Pop Smoke. In April of 2019, he would sign to Victor Victor Worldwide, a subsidiary of Universal Music. On April 23, 2019, Pop released his first breakthrough hit, Welcome to the Party. He would go on to release 2 mixtapes that would help him gain traction in the rap industry. His second mixtape was a major success. Meet the Woo 2 debuted at number 7 on the US Billboard 200, earning him his first top 10 in the United States. It seems like Pop Smoke was just about to take over the rap game, but on February 19, 2020, his rap career would be cut short.
Now at 11, we're following breaking news. A rap star on the rise killed during a violent home invasion in the Hollywood Hills this morning. The music world is in shock as police search for the shooter.
At around 4:30 a.m., 5 hooded men, including one wearing a ski mask and carrying a handgun, entered his Airbnb rental home through a second-story balcony while Pop Smoke was taking a shower. A woman who was staying with Jackson at the time in the house had a gun held to her head, and one of the intruders threatened to kill her. The woman heard Pop Smoke struggle in the shower and then heard him screaming. Jackson ran out of the bathroom, and then the woman heard a loud bang and heard Jackson fall to the ground. 2 other intruders began to kick him, but Pop Smoke was able to get up and run downstairs, but not before the woman heard 2 more gunshots. The LAPD received news of the home invasion from a call from the East Coast. Police arrived at the home 6 minutes later and found Pop Smoke with multiple gunshot wounds. He was rushed to Cedars-Sinai Medical Center where he underwent surgery, but was pronounced dead a few hours later. At first, the LAPD thought his death was gang-related since he has ties to the Crips, but later on they concluded his death was a robbery gone wrong. The day before his murder, Jackson and his friend Michael Duro-Dola had posted several images on social media, including one in which the Airbnb's address could be seen in the background. Pop Smoke also posted a story on Instagram and Facebook of gifts he had received. One showed the house's full address on the packaging. A 15-year-old boy was arrested in May of 2021 in an unrelated case and placed in a cell rigged with hidden recording devices. Investigators listened as the boy told his cellmate he had taken part in robbing Pop Smoke and fired the rounds that killed the rapper. After seeing Pop Smoke's Instagram post of the bag that revealed his address, the teen and some friends hatched a plan to rob Jackson of his thick gold chain and diamond-studded watch. When Jackson put up a fight, the boy said he'd pistol whipped the rapper, then shot him 3 times in the back with a 9mm Beretta. The teenagers said they made off with only the watch, which they sold for $2,000. All of the men that were charged are being held on a $1 million bond as they await trial. Mo3. Melvin Noble, better known as Mo3, was a Dallas rapper that was gunned down on the I-35 interstate in his own city.
A Dallas rapper was murdered outside of his car on I-35 near the Dallas Zoo.
Mo3 grew up on the north side of Dallas in a rough area. He said he got his first gun at the age of 12. At 17, he was facing 45 years in prison for a string of stick-ups. Luckily, he was able to get that reduced to 10 years, of which he only had to serve 2. In 2014, he would start to drop music, gaining himself a huge buzz in the region. In 2019, he would sign to Empire, and it seemed like he was about to blow up. But on November 11, 2020, Mo3 was tragically gunned down in an ambush on a busy interstate in Dallas in broad daylight. At approximately 11:55 a.m., Mo3 and the shooter were traveling northbound on I-35. The shooter got out of his vehicle and approached Mo3's vehicle on foot. When Mo3 seen him approaching, he got out of his car and started fleeing on foot. The shooter then followed him and shot him several times, including once in the back of the head. A bystander was also shot and treated at a nearby hospital for non-life-threatening injuries. The shooter was able to flee the scene and make his escape without being apprehended. But later on, 2 men were arrested and indicted for his murder, Devon Brown and Kevon White. Allegedly, his murder was fueled by jealousy. A witness was interviewed and said that Brown was upset over Mo3 and her relationship. The witness stated that Brown contacted a juvenile at her house by phone several times the night before the murder. The witness learned during the phone calls that Brown had asked the juvenile if Mo3 was there. When questioned about the murder, Brown denied any involvement but admitted to calling the juvenile and that he was upset over a recent Facebook post involving Mo3. Kevon White, aka Banzo Bling, was identified as the shooter by an anonymous call after pictures of the shooter were released on the news. The witness had inside knowledge about Devon Brown and said that surveillance was being conducted on Mo3 the night before his murder. The witness said that she heard White admit to shooting Mo3 in a conversation between White and her boyfriend. Her boyfriend also recognized White from the surveillance pictures released on the news. White's cell phone location data showed him to be in the vicinity of the first witness's apartment the night before and the morning of the shooting. It also showed him to travel the same path as Mo3 and put him near the murder scene the same time Mo3 was killed. Devon Brown's phone records confirmed that there were several calls between White and Brown the night before and the day of the offense. White gave a voluntary statement saying that the phone they had on record might have been his, but he couldn't remember his number. He also stated that he did not know Devon Brown and that he had no association with him at all. With all the information the government has obtained, it doesn't look like it'll be long before Mo3's murder mystery will be solved. King Vaughan. Devon Bennett, aka King Vaughan, was a rapper who grew up on the south side of Chicago. He lived most of his life in the Parkway Gardens, a notorious housing project on O Block. O Block was given its name because of a Black Disciple gang member named O.D. Perry who was shot and killed there in 2011. Since a young age, King Vaughan was closely affiliated with the Black Disciples gang. Aside from his rap career, he was mostly known for beating a murder case in 2017. In 2014, Vaughan and a friend were charged for killing a man at a party that was staring him down. They would wait for the man outside and shoot him several times as he was leaving the party. Vaughan would keep his mouth shut, but his friend would admit to firing off his gun 16 times. His friend was convicted to 28 years in prison, while Vaughan was acquitted of all the charges and released after serving 3.5 years in Cook County Jail. He would then start to work on his music and move to Atlanta to be closer to his good friend Lil Durk. But in 2019, he would get in trouble again when he was accused alongside of Durk for robbing and shooting a man outside of a popular Atlanta drive-in. Lil Durk and Vaughan's lawyers would argue that they were the victims in the case, and Vaughan and Durk would later be released on a $250,000 and a $300,000 bail. Vaughan was signed to Lil Durk's record label, OTF, or Only the Family. He would release several hot tracks such as Took Her to the O, The Code featuring Polo G, and a song named Crazy Story with 3 different parts. Everything was looking up for King Vaughan. He was making a huge wave in the rap scene. His mixtape Grandson Volume 1 debuted at 75 on the Billboard 200 and number 27 on the Hip Hop and R&B albums chart. And his mixtape LaVon James peaked at 63 on the Billboard 200. Every music video he was releasing was getting millions of views. But on November 6th, 2020, trouble would find him outside of Monaco Hookah Lounge in Atlanta. Vaughan's crew would get into an argument with the rapper Quando Rondo's crew. The argument quickly turned into a scuffle that resulted in Vaughan getting gunned down in the street. A friend of his would rush him to the hospital. Officers nearby would attempt to stop the shooting by opening fire on the shooters. King Vaughan would be pronounced dead at the hospital. 2 other men were also killed in the shooting, with several more wounded. Police weren't entirely sure who killed Vaughan, but days later they charged Timothy Leaks, aka Lil Tim, with the murder. Lil Tim since has bonded out on a $100,000 bail and has yet to go to trial. It seems like Quando Rondo dissed Vaughan during a virtual performance, saying, "He got caught without his pole. That bitch gone. I'll piss on his grave."
That pole, not that bitch ass nigga gone. It is getting every day I piss on his grave.
That's probably not the smartest thing Quando Rondo has ever done. Dissing a dead Chirac veteran can have some serious consequences. This rap beef may only be the beginning of a long-lasting feud. Well, that's it for today's video. Please hit that like, subscribe, and notification bell if you like this video and want to see more videos like this one. Also, please leave a comment down in the comment section below and let me know what y'all want me to do next. It's your boy C-Dubb. I'm out, y'all.